Am I in hell yet? No, apparently I'm still in this ethereal plane. One word of advice, kids. Maltesers, M&Ms, lots of Jack Daniels, and some vodka shots as well. They don't really mix in when you're trying to watch a movie and then coming back and then staying up for the whole fucking day, just twiddling your dick reading manga. So, there's an advice to you kiddies and all that. Just don't be fucking dumb. But let's talk about a really, really good thing right now. So I've been really excited to talk about Platinum End since it was announced, and I can happily say that Platinum End is amazing. Like, holy shit, I can just not recommend this enough. Like, Platinum End, it's so, if you don't know, it's done by the same people that, you know, like Obata, like they're the same guys that did the art and the story for Bakuman and Death Note, and I definitely feel like if you've done, like, you know, seen a series like Death Note before, I would highly recommend that. Like, Bakuman was a little bit more light-hearted, but still had its really serious tones, and just overall, this one is just going to be fantastic, and I cannot wait to see it. Like, I would be straight up with you guys. This is probably, out of all the new series right now, this is my favorite chapter out of all of them and all that. And we get to see, like, you know, like a bunch of, like, kids, like, graduating, and we get to see our main characters as well, like Mirai. Like, he seems like just a miserable fighter. Like, you see him, like, just leading the graduation. He's there, like, wanting to, like, steal, like, some bread or something, and he just puts it back, and he just seems like he doesn't have, like, a lot to live for, and he's just there, like, literally at the first couple of pages is there just, like, wanting to jump off a fucking building, and he's like, right, then, guess it's time to die, and he's just like, I just wanted to be happy, and he's just there falling towards his death. But however, like, he actually gets saved by this little angel girl known as Nase, which, funny enough, like, he's there saying, like, she's like, oh yeah, I made it in time and all that, you know, like, Mirai and all that, like, I'm glad, like, I'm your angel and everything. It's like, you know, I'm gonna give you wings and everything, I'm gonna give you hope and all that and bring you happiness. And it's just like, Mirai's there just like, please let me fall. I said I wanted to just be happy, but you're just hearing things and shit. And she's like, oh, you totally, like, at first I thought I'd totally hate Nase from, like, what she was getting, like, oh, like, this really happy guy, and it's like, and honestly, it's really messed up to see, like, what exactly has gone through, like, this kid's life and all that. And it's like, yeah, basically his parents died when he was very little, and he had no other relatives but his aunt and uncle. But then they started treating him like a slave. They started beating the shit out of him if he wasn't doing what he was told. Like, even his cousins started abusing him. He was just there to do the housework and all the chores and everything. And he could only eat lunch, like, you know, the free lunches from school, and slept in the storeroom. And he's like, every single, like, part of his money and all that has gone towards, like, him actually getting into, like, middle school. Like, you know, all the money for that. So I'm very drastically sort of like, oh, we're going pretty goddamn dark immediately right now. And he's like, I've got no family, I've got no friends, it's pointless to live, but it's just nothing but pain. I have nothing for the future at all. And like, Nasa's like, oh, that's why I, a special class angel, will be giving you the hope of life, you know, for life. And I'm going to give you freedom and love. And then she starts, like, saying, you know, oh, you know, freedom, the restrained life of the freedom to go wherever you want, whenever you want, like, love for those who have no family or friends, a love where everyone will yearn for you. It's like, yeah, I'm going to give you wings to your freedom, like that. It's like, and these arrows as well, whichever you choose will become your hope of living. And it's like, he's like, oh, you can choose one of them, like the angel's arrows or the angel's wings. And it's just like, just give me both then, and I'll just think about it. It's just like, that. It's a bit weird. Like, he's still just like, I don't give a shit. It's just like, this is just some stupid shit either way. And she was just like, well, that's really a formality, but you can have everything. And it's just like really weird. And you start seeing like this sort of like halo kind of thing, like go around his arm and his neck. And he's like, oh, by the way, yeah, you can fucking grow your wings now. And it's like, yeah, try them later and all that. And it's like, you know, God chose all of us and all that, and saying like only people with angels can see us, these rings. So it's like, yeah, basically that's going to happen. And like, he starts to have hope. Like, he starts to see like the angel wings come out. He starts flying around. He starts like crying because of this stuff. And I will say one thing, like, if you guys have like not noticed yet in this, like, the art is fucking fantastic. Holy shit, it's amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. And I did like they kind of made it seems like a little nod to Death Note and all that, and saying like, does an angel really talk about saying, because she's saying like, oh, you can have, you know, bread or money, you can steal whatever you want, whenever, you know, and saying like, does an angel really do that? And saying like, well, apparently and all that, it's like demons and all that, you know, we haven't, you know, they're just actually like a little lurking around the myth and stuff. It's like, that's the kind of thing that's want to be happening. It's like, you know, up until now, we just believe that so I like to believe that this is in the same, like, you know, world and kind of universe as, you know, Death Note and Bakuman. I'd like to believe they're in this sort of same, like, universe. I don't know if Death Note and Bakuman takes place in the same place, but I am kind of curious about this one. It's like, you know, and they drop a fucking bombshell and saying, you know, guess what? The ones that fucking, you know, your aunt and uncle murdered their own just have little demons inside their hearts. And it turns out, yeah, that they killed his family and made it look like an accident. And he's just like, you know what? No, what you talking about? What did you just say and all that? And it's like, it's actually really weird. It's like, Nasa's like, I've been watching you from the start. I know everything about you, like Mirai. It's just like, what the fuck? It's like, you know, you can find out and all that by just using the angel's arrow and just like stabbing the shit out of them with it. And he like fires the angel's arrow right at it. It's like, oh, by the way, you people who get shot by this arrow like fall in love with you for like over a month, I believe. And it's just like, she's there like saying like, oh, Mirai-chan, you know, I really love you. And it's just like, yep, this got very creepy and all that. You're hitting on your nephew. Yep, that's definitely how it's going to go down. And she's like, why did you kill my uncle? Yeah, why did you kill him? All that. And he was like, oh, I was against it, but it was like, you know, it was my husband's idea. And like, he's the one that planned everything. It's because, you know, we was going to get inheritance from the money and everything. And it's like, that's why they started treating him really nice at first. They're like, yeah, you know, you're cool. You know, it's all right, man. Take your time. And funny enough, I think he was supposed to be in that car or something. Like, all of them were some of the end. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that is fucked up and all that. It's just like really like upsetting to see that, because he was supposed to be in there with like, because he was like, oh, I forgot my homework, and then the car went off, and it's just like to show how much just like she fucking loves him after all this, even though like just get the shit cat there saying like, it was the two of you that should have died, you should have been the ones that. Then she fucking grabs a knife and just slits her own fucking throat like that, just to show how much she loves him. And it's just like, yeah, that's how fucked up. And it's just like, oh, call an ambulance, you know, something. It's like, oh, it's like, she's already dead. I'm an angel. I know when she's dead. And it's like, oh, there comes someone to pick her up. And it's just like, it's so fucked up, because like he starts feeling like, you know, his heart beating just rapidly fasting. It's like, this isn't a dream right now. I'm in reality. I'm living. And it finally hit him after seeing this. It's like, you know, all people are born to be happy. All people live to find happiness. That's what my mom thinks. It's like, I like you, Mirai, to find happiness in his life too. And he just started like crying, and it's just like, you know, I finally, you know, I have to find happiness. I have to be happy for my family's sake. I have to be like all this. And it's like, I kind of got a little bit emotional seeing that at the end. She's like, yeah, you know, that's what you think. It's like, I'm always going to make you happy, Mirai, and all that. It's like, I want to be happy. And it's like, she's there, and we finally see what exactly it seems like the story is going to be about. And you see there, fucking God of all people, he's been there for aeons, shit. And he's like this cool, shadowed out bastard, like looking ass figure like that. And we get to see like there's going to be 13 angels, and it's like, upon the new advent of the new God, the work of the angels that so that he or she will be permitted to live in the Isil like place of their new God. And it's like, we get to see like all sort of the gods, and it seems like Nase is one of them, and they have 999 days to find out, you know, pretty much, well, you know, that who they're going to turn into like the next new god. So this could turn into battle. This could turn, I'm very curious exactly, because like from what we heard from some of them, it's like, oh, I can only do like, you know, the crimson arrow upon people, like I'm a second rate. Like Nase seems to be like one of those special class, like, so I'm really curious what they like. I doubt it's gonna be battle, like they haven't really attempted battle before, but I'm kind of seeing like maybe with the crimson stuff, like maybe they can like make people fall in love with them and like, you know, cause like wars and shit, and just like have the gang of people. I'm really curious how is that gonna go down. Like there's so many things that it can take, and I'm very curious. Like obviously since they got the wings, they've got the stuff, like I'm curious, what it actually can people like really do in this series, and it's like I can't wait to wait and see exactly what's going to go down. Honestly, though, I thought it was a fucking 10 out of 10. I actually honestly enjoyed it. There wasn't a bit in the chapter that I was bored, where I wasn't interested. Like, it was just great from start to finish, and I cannot recommend it enough for people to check out Platinum's End. But that's all from me. I want to thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.